Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is Unreal World, and we are back today for another episode here. We are at our little shelter, but we've got to leave immediately. There is something really interesting we discovered in the last episode, so it's not there currently, but I did notice that there was a dog on the world map, and I've never, not a wolf, a dog. And I've never seen that before. Never in my life have I seen a dog wandering around. I have seen hunters. I've encountered other like people who will have a dog with them, which I suspect might be what we saw, that we saw the animal and not like the owner from a distance or whatever, but I really don't know. And I'm really excited to go test, like look and see if we can find this dog because I want to capture it. Since we're basically role playing here as a hermit who lives out in the middle of nowhere away from civilization, we might not ever visit civilization. I've talked about doing some trades and stuff, but we might avoid it altogether. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if that is the case, then we don't have any opportunity to get dogs or any kind of livestock, basically. But if we can encounter this dog in the wild, and I can get a leash on it without it like freaking out and going hostile, that would be amazing. So I got to start a fire here. It's actually getting really cold. We're closer and closer to summertime right now. We're about the ninth week before summer, but the temperature has dropped again drastically. But that's okay because we did end up getting a nice big kill, and we've got ourselves an extra cloak or overcoat now. I still haven't made a cloak, which is the next thing we'll make, but honestly, I don't know if I have enough fur for it. We have 10 pounds left of that big piece. No, we probably don't. I think it's like 17 pounds. We do have 2 winter elk furs. We'll worry about that a little bit later on. Like I said, I don't want to get into too much crafting right now because I want to go find that dog. But it's too dark. You can see we're losing light constantly, and my sleep schedule's all kinds of messed up. So I'm just going to pass some time here, wait until the morning light, get my guy on a regular schedule again, and we're going to go out and look for that dog. Okay, I have returned to the area on the world map where I think we saw the dog. And now it is time to zoom in here and just look around. Not much else to do except hope we run into a dog out here or some tracks so I can follow it. Ooh, there's an arrow. This is good too, running around in this kind of our front yard. I've done some hunting out here. It's right in front of the shelter, and get lucky and we'll find some of our old arrows. All right, if we get real lucky, we'll find a free dog. That would be so amazing. Dogs in this game they're not crucial, but they really, really help in some situations. Like if you're going to fight a bear, you definitely want dogs. I mean, at least one, because the bear can focus on the dog while you stand back and shoot it with arrows, instead of having to like go into melee combat with a bear. Same is true with enemies, like actual people. If you decide to raid a village or if you just encounter one by accident and you got dogs with you, your chances of survival are much, much higher. So I'm going to use my standard hunting technique where I kind of look around, in the zoomed in area like this, and then I'll jump back out to see if maybe he appears on the world map again. That was so crazy. I can't believe we saw a dog. I don't know what that was. I'm so intrigued by it. I desperately want to find this boy. All right, let's look around a little bit more. Like I said, sometimes it's tedious and you just don't get lucky. Oh, that was a bird. But other times you just happen to stumble into animals. Sometimes not even the animals you're chasing. That's happened before. Looking for a group of deer recently, and we ran into an elk and its child. That was amazing. Ugh, I'm just not seeing it. It's not popping up. I don't even see any tracks, to be honest. Let's keep looking, though. I'm not willing to give up, but ooh, oh, hold on. We are chilly. I need to go warm up by the fire real quick. Let's see, fire's still going. All right, perfect. We'll push in a little bit of some branches here. Get that going. Get that roaring real nicely. All right, and while I wait to warm up, instead of just standing here doing nothing, I'll collect some branches while we do this, and it warms me up nicely. There we go. And of course, it prepares us for our next fire. Awesome. So we're now fully rested again, and we're warm. Let's head back out. Well, no dog yet, but I decided to come in here and check our pig traps at this location. So far, nothing. And I was thinking maybe this is a good spot to look for the dog, too. Like I said, the dog could have been with a hunter, and maybe they're over here looking for these pigs. I don't know. But, oh, there's tracks everywhere here, though. These pigs are just all over the place. Tell you what, yeah, I don't know if they're honestly still in the area. Whoa, what are those? What is that? That is not a pig track. No, old hare tracks. That's not helpful. But yeah, I'm not even sure if these pigs are still here. We haven't actually seen them in a while, but this is old big sow tracks leading southwest. Yeah, so even the tracks are getting old, but of course there could be fresher ones here. It's really hard to tell sometimes. But now I'm just futilely running around in these fields, desperately looking for a dog. I think I just have to give up on it. It's really a waste of time at this point. I can't spend more than 1 or 2 days looking. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see it again. Just goes to show, though, you should always be prepared. And I didn't have a rope with me. I didn't anticipate that would even be a thing, to be honest. I'm still kind of mystified by what we actually saw there. But who knows? Like I said, I'm going to keep that rope on me now for a while at least. And one thing too is it's no guarantee, even if I did encounter the dog and it was unattended, no humans, if I walked up to it and was able to get next to it, it might still attack me if I try and put a rope on it. Because even like when you take over a village, for instance, if you were to attack one of the purple villages, I've had this happen before. Sometimes they will have their own livestock, which basically becomes your livestock, but it doesn't always mean that the animals will cooperate with you. Sometimes if you get some pigs or sheep or something, they'll go hostile against you if you try and put a rope on them and like move them around. So some of them won't, some of them do though. So you got to be careful of that. But anyway, so like I say, it's no guarantee we would even get this dog. I'm not giving up on it yet though. We might still spend a little time tomorrow searching that area. Let's see. Well, I've had absolutely no luck finding this dog. That's okay though. My sleep schedule's still messed up too, but I think I'm gonna spend. Oh, it's still super cold. Actually, I was gonna say I'm gonna spend a night out here wandering around hunting, but nah, it's way too cold for that. I have actually been just making some arrows though, so we're up to 14 fouling arrows or 12 or whatever. So we've got quite a few of them, so that's good. I'm also tempted now to go ahead and make that other piece of fur clothing we talked about. So let's grab the fur and 2 winter elk furs. Okay, good. Now we need that cordage. We're going to need some fine leather cordage. There we go. Oops, grab that. I've got too much junk. I've got way too much stuff here. Let's see. You know what I do like to sometimes do is I'll set up a pile, maybe a second shelter even, or you can just drop it on the ground. It's not a big deal, but I'll usually set up a pile just for cordage. So I don't have like all the bones and feathers and cordage all mixed together. I could just, whenever I need to make, dry some food, I just grab from one pile. So I might end up doing that. But anyway, let's stay focused here. Let me see. Leather cord. Now I have a feeling we'll probably need to bring some of these together. Tie some of the cords together like we did on the last time. So let's join ropes and cords. I'll join these two right here. There we go. All right, let's take a little eat. Let's have a little break for some lunch or late night dinner. And let's go ahead and make that. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, hold on. Yep, I wanted to make sure my endurance was good. We're fine. It's always good to start off your crafting like at the most rested you can be. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the last things we need to make is the fur cloak. For fur, obviously we haven't made a bit of leather yet. Well, we made some leather gloves, but that was it. So we'll need to do that too. But for right now, fur is the deal. So we need 14 pounds of it. Okay, that's not as much as I thought. That's okay. We'll use these here. Beautiful. Oh, and it didn't actually take any cordage at all. That's nice. I guess with a cloak, you just cut it to shape and throw it over your back, right? So it doesn't have to be sewed together, really. So there we go. Now we've got an 11-pound cloak. So obviously it's going to help our warmth a lot. Now, again, the counter to that is how heavy it is. The more clothing you put on, the less endurance you're going to have to run around and chase animals and stuff. So it is a trade-off, but I tell you, in the depths of winter like this, it's unavoidable. You have to have like a full set of fur basically. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck how we were at the beginning of the series, where you're like tied to your shelter basically. You can't really go too far away. Otherwise, you get real cold and stuff, and you risk hypothermia. So, it's important to get that fur set built as quickly as possible. But nonetheless, we're looking good now. Let's see. Actually, let's check our warmth here. So if we go to our warmth protection, oh yeah, we're completely green, except for our hands are a little bit light green. So that just obviously means we're not fully protected there. I think what we need here is like a pair of wool mittens. So we've got fur, we've got leather, but now if we get like a third pair of wool or linen or something, maybe that'll probably make us perfectly green across the board. And you can see we are at the highest everywhere else. So this dark green, that's the most superior protection. Now, of course, that's just for warmth. If we look at like our blunt attacks here or whatever, point, yeah, you can see we're not really totally protected against actual attacks and stuff, but that's our overall average for it for armor. But no worries, we're gonna have plenty of time to make our own armor and stuff. So anyway, I'm still trying to get myself back on a stupid sleeping cycle that makes some sense. You can see I'm totally rested at this point, and it's the evening, so that's kind of a pain in the butt. But maybe I'll make some more bone arrowheads or something. That does seem to wear them out quite a bit. Not as much as like beating on a piece of fir would, but it actually does take a lot of time. Let's go ahead and make another one or two of these. Forked bone arrowhead. I don't want to make so many of these that like we end up with tons of them, because at some point we are going to transition from bone to metal. It's just, it'll probably be a while before that happens. So there we go. Decent forked arrowhead. Now we can sleep. Let's repeat it one more time. Okay, I want to push this. Again, I'm trying to get him onto a decent sleep cycle. Let's do one more. See how that goes. Okay, now it's late night. Let's go ahead and sleep. Okay, perfect. We woke up at an early morning. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's refill our water bag here. It's always good, more convenient in the winter to have like a water container. During the summer, it's not even that important because you can just drink from any water source. But man, oh man, I tell you, this temperature has increased, but not very much. It is still super cold, so I think we can handle it though with our cloak. Let's test it out, right? Let's see how well we do. Well, I'm over here at the second shelter, just south of our main one. Not much here but firewood, which is good because I am cool. If you'll notice, that warmth we got from the cloak I didn't get cold, so that's very important. Cool is tolerable. You can maintain cool. If you're cold, though, that's the start of something real bad. So I'm a little nervous that even though we've got all our fur stuff on, it's going to be still kind of tough to maintain warmth. So I didn't test it. I could have kept going to see if we do reach that cold level, but if that happens, you pretty much have to drop everything, stop what you're doing, and build a fire. So I didn't want to push it, didn't want to risk death doing something silly. But we're good now. We're nice and sweaty, so it's obviously getting a little later in the day, too, so it should warm up. But, uh-oh, look at that. Almost walked into an encounter with a trader. We're trying to avoid that, trying to avoid all traces of civilization. Even out here in the middle of no man's land, human beings still intrude on our peace and quiet, and we don't like it. Oh, look at my warmth level. Yeah, we're maintaining. Oh, we just went from cool to comfortably warm. Okay, well, that's a positive. See, that's a good development. So I'm confident we can probably sleep out here, although that's a risk, but I will try it because it is so much more like efficient if you're moving around on a big hunt or doing what I'm doing, kind of hunting and searching for a place to settle. It's good to be able to sleep out in the wilds, for a couple days on a time. If you don't have anything at home, like no skin waiting on you or no meat that needs to be dried, it can be good. Stay out a little bit. Let's take a drink here. We'll do some exploring. I've definitely got food for days now. Of course, the issue is trying to get through the summer with the food that we've got because we can't do any smoking. All right, now these are interesting little places. We're literally standing in the middle of a lake right now, but you can see it's a perfectly circular little lake here. Of course, the ice is totally fine at this time of the year. It's not a problem at all. But if we waited too much longer, it would start to break, and that can be extremely fatal. If you fall in a cold, icy lake, You're not ready for it. All right, let's see. Especially when you're like me, somebody who turns swimming all the way down. Like I never swim and I never climb. So when I create a character, if I start on the too easy level, which allows you to take points away, I always take away swimming and climbing, just so I have extra points to spend on more important stuff. But it is possible to level yourself up as you play. So if I wanted, I could probably climb over and over again over a trap fence, something real, short, which wouldn't kill me if I fell. And you can also go try swimming in the shallows, but it just takes a long time to actually level anything in this game, really, which is good because that's how it is in real life. You don't just pick up a bow and after a day become a grand master at shooting, so it takes years to do that. And I'll say it's probably similar in this game. You can see now stealth is a good example because this is something that it was at this level. You can see the color change. That's where it started, and that's everything I've learned, the increasing that I've done for this skill up to this point. We've already become an expert, but that is because I force myself to stealth almost constantly. Now, another good example is the hide working and the cookery. You can see that we've actually gained a little bit in both just because we've done that so much now. So it is a bit quicker than real life. I mean, your character starts at 16 years old. And to be honest, I've never had a character get much past like 18 before I either lose interest or I die. So, yeah, it's sad to say that at some point I do tend to lose interest in later runs. I don't know, for whatever reason. If I run out of goals, basically, I think is probably what that is typically. Now, this is not a good situation here. We're very tired, but we can't sleep because it's too much snow. We've got a nice little fire going, so I think what I'll do is I'll warm up. All right, now let's go ahead and zoom out. I was going to try and sleep next to the fire, but we need to move around. Yeah, there we go, until the snowing stops. Okay, we were fine. Wait, no. Look, it says we caught a cold. Oh, no. Let's see, Shift P. So we do have influenza. We'll want to treat that. No, it says there's no external treatment. Yeah, so we'll need to probably go sleep by a warm fire for a couple days. That's something I've never actually experienced either, is a death from sickness. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but I've never had it happen. Usually my people heal up, Just got to take care of them. Oh, see, it actually says right there, your influenza eases a bit. So it's not a severe thing, at least in my limited experience. Let's see here. So in that case, let's see, do we still have it though? No, we don't. We got over it almost the next day, which is good. But all right, let's push on. Let's keep searching. Okay, now this is a rare and interesting find right here. So normally throughout this little land, I think it's Finland. If we look at the map and try and zoom out, you don't see it now because obviously it's all blacked out, but I'm pretty sure we're in Finland. Now, if you're in the northern region, there's a lot of mountains. It's very rocky, and I don't know if that's actually true about real Finland. I'm no expert, but down here where we're at, you rarely encounter the hills or the mountains, but we did just find one. There's literally one right here in the middle of the forest. And so, like I said, when you find interesting little spots like this, it's definitely worth checking out. Now, I don't know if I'll settle here, but what I am going to do is mark this on the map. There's a good reason for that because I'm pretty sure that one of the ways we can get iron ore, to eventually start blacksmithing and stuff, is to go to a mountain or cliff. Let's find that out. So if we go to mining and iron, harvest mountain bog ore. And then there's another one, harvest cliff bog ore. So I don't know what that means, but obviously here at the mountain, there's going to be a lot of cliffs. That's for sure. I mean, there's cliffs everywhere. This is kind of a small one too. Yeah, it's not a very big mountain. Interesting. I like this spot, though. This would actually be kind of a cool area to possibly build a permanent cabin. I like that because it's nice and clear. It's got a good vantage point. Let's look around. The only issue here is that there's no direct water source nearby, right? So it would be very difficult for us to process furs or even just get regular drinks. But the good news is, I'm pretty sure that this mod allows you to dig a well, which in my, again, limited experience with the mod is just like a single little water source. So that's all it is basically. But let's see, can we still do that? I don't know. And I'm not even sure what that would be under. Like utility articles? Dig a well? I'll have to look for that at some point. We've got this place marked, so we can easily come back here in the future. But I like the look of it. If nothing else, we will return here and try to get some ore. Maybe in the summer, I guess. I don't know. Or when we get a little bit more established and we actually find a place to set up a permanent home. Because I don't want to go to the whole trouble of building like a blacksmith furnace and stuff in a location where I don't plan on building a final cabin. But this is cool. What I'm actually looking for now, like I said, I'm not going to find any water, but I'm looking for some unique forest or maybe even like a clearing nearby that we don't have to build directly on top of the mountain, but it can be like in our backyard essentially. I don't know. Not seeing anything really special here other than the mountain itself, but let me keep looking around a little bit. I'm not giving up totally. And like I said, this is still a pretty cool find. Oh, okay. And speaking of cool finds, I just found some reindeer. Look at that right in front of me. So I guess we'll go for a little hunt. Why not? This is actually just directly below that mountain I was showing you guys. Um, yeah, it's still pretty far from our shelter, but we might be able to get lucky and kill one of these that we can actually just carry straight out of here. We can butcher it at our home, but let's see. Oh, interesting. I think it's a single reindeer. Normally these things come in packs, but just like pigs, but occasionally you do find them solo. Does it have a kid with it? I think it might. It's either standing on its own droppings or there's a child under it. Now there's poop there. Yeah, see a fresh forest reindeer droppings? So it must have pooped when it saw me. So let's take a shot at it. That's rude of you, sir. How dare you? It's carrying our arrow. Minor puncture in the foreleg. All right. You know the drill, folks. Let's go for it. Oh, check it out. So I did come upon it, and it is with a group of reindeer. That's fantastic. That's not the one. Oh, that one's a little fatigued. Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to keep the pressure on it, obviously. You guys have ever watched me hunt before, you know my technique. Let's see, there it is. I'm keeping my eye on it. But that's super interesting. Now, the only issue, I definitely want to mark this on the map here, probably the location. The only issue, there's not a lot of open ground around here. We're pretty much hemmed in on all sides by really thick forest for like miles and miles. So that's not it, is it? So I don't know how great of a hunting area this is, really, but I'm going to give it my best. Well, this is a tough call right here, so I'm kind of following the injured one. It's out of my sight, but of course I was looking at all of the nearby ones too. This one's actually fatigued now. The others are just slightly fatigued. I think I'm going to switch and start chasing down this boy. I'm really, really making a risk here, though, because my fatigue is about halfway, so not doing too great here in terms of my own endurance. It's really just the snow. It's all this huge snow drifts we're trying to walk through. But if I can push this guy to very fatigued, there he is. Oh my God, we might have an easy run here. All right, I am going to sprint. I'm going to spook this guy and chase him. Keep going. Okay, we have to stop. Let me stop. And where's he at? Where's he at? Come on, there's so many tracks everywhere. This is the hard part about the deer. You think that the fact that there's so many of them makes it easier, and in a way it does, but it also makes tracking them a lot tougher. I don't know where he went. Damn. I want to say he's probably down. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, because I think he's probably trying to loop back around, get up with his friends. Is that him? Come on. Damn, that's a different one. I don't know where he went. Let's just head back to these. Let's check this too. Okay, that's the one I was obviously chasing. How about any of these over here? I don't think it's the one who was. Oh, that is the one. Or at least he's also very fatigued. All right, let's put pressure on him. I mean, they're fatigued, but they're still fast, so they can get around my guy pretty quickly. Because especially when I'm just wandering around, not sure where they're at. All right, let's see here. Which one do we want? Come on, get breathless. We need him to get breathless, because then I can. There he is. This is probably the injured one. Yep. All right, we're at negative 85 on our endurance. This is getting real close. A little too close to call here. I don't know. This is the one we're following. He just went down this direction. trying to wear him out. Let me see if I can keep my eye on him. Damn it, where did he go? See these tracks, I'm telling you, it's just, these might be him. They might not. Nope, they're probably not. Let's get back to the main group then. I'll turn around and look for the other deer. God, I have no idea where they're at. Oh, well, check this out. So I jumped out to the world map, which is a good technique, kind of jump in and out, look for them. They're actually split up now, so there's 2 of them on the map. We'll go for this one, see what this one's all about. See, sometimes they don't start you really in a great spot. I don't even see it. Let's jump back out. Of course, when you move on the world map like that, it passes time at a much higher rate, so that means it gives these animals a time to rest. So that's the real like trade-off. Oh, look. So I just reached a negative 100%, which means I cannot do a single thing except rest. So, oh, look. Reindeer just entered my view. There it is right there at the very edge of the screen behind that tree right there. Well, I mean, I can't even chase it, so there's really no point. It kind of sucks, but I have to just say no, and we're just going to rest, which means we basically allow them to rest. And normally I would say that they could get away, but they keep just hanging out right near my guy, so that's a good thing at least. Means we'll be able to pick up the hunt again once I finish resting, but I need to get myself to, yeah, there we go, fully rested and stuff. It's really not worth it going to like 50% and then picking up the hunt again. I mean, like I said, you're going to allow them to rest and get their recovery either way, so you might as well just fully recover yourself too. But I think that this is a good place to cut here. We will end today's episode and pick up tomorrow's with a brand new fresh hunt. Hopefully we'll be successful. You never know, though. And also don't forget we're on the hunt for a permanent location for our cabin, too. So it might be that mountain. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Hit that like button for me if you have, and I will see you on the next one. Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a very special shout out to my Patreon members. They are fantastic people. Interstick, Mr. PZ Jones, Lady Viz, and Spuds. Thank you guys so much. Couldn't have done it without you. And I also want to show off this fan art by Vita. It's a cuttlefish scientist. Thank you, Vita.